right, I'm going to go back out and try to work. The sun is coming out, and so I wanted to do a quick recap, though, the last couple of days with the new Packout. I found that working on two different parts of the farm, having two different projects going, obviously it just doesn't work. I kept going back here and grabbing stuff and everything. Some other things that I found, this tape measure was put over here, and so I ended up putting tape measure there so that everybody knows where that goes, and I may have to start doing that with a lot of these other things. I also found when I was doing a video for Paul that I had not marked some of these things, and so I just went in there and I GPS taped a couple of things. I also noticed Michael working, and he was just, these handles used to be upside down, so they were turned the other way, and he couldn't tell what head it was that he was going to get, and so he just got frustrated and he just grabbed and went. And so now what I've done is I've taken them all and I've put them face up, or head up, I guess, so that you look in here and now you can see, okay, let's see, what do I want? And then knowing the right tool, that's a different story. We'll have to get working on that and everything. So other than that, I saw him going back to this quite a few times. I put the utility blades up here. I realized that it skipped on me a couple of times there. I got a couple extra eyes. And I put a magnet on there, so for the blades. When I get the fast cap magnets, I'll probably put one of those on there because they're supposedly a little bit stronger, a lot stronger. And so we'll see if that holds a little bit better. It is holding right now though. One thing I noticed was a lot of these tools in here all fell down. If you grabbed something, they all started to fall down, and that was not a good thing. So I'm thinking some sort of strapping of some sorts in there maybe to make that a little bit better. The bins for the screws, those worked great for him for that. The big thing is he kept walking all the way back to the shop because he kept running out of batteries. He kept blowing through the batteries. And so I do not have this set up yet, the power pack in there. So he could be charging 2 batteries at a time. He had to keep coming back and charging one at a time. This box is not labeled, and so he came all the way back in and saw that there were no batteries for the rigid either impact driver. We're all done with the batteries and everything, and I said, well, doesn't the Sawzall have a battery in it? And he goes, no, it doesn't. Well, I came over here to grab something. I think I was getting a drill or something, a drill bit, and lo and behold, it does have one. So what I'm wondering is if he didn't look at all, because he didn't know where it was. And he may not know what a Sawzall is. So I think it is labeled. No, the label fell off. So that's part of the problem, is the label fell off. That would be 3S'ing right there. So I need to get the labels and probably use the lean label on there to see if it'll hold better. And but then also, some way we've got to convey to everyone what's in the boxes. The power tools is not a bad one. That conveys that, that's pretty much everything that's in there, but we've got this right here, so it doesn't convey it perfectly. If there was some way, I'm thinking like take a picture of the inside, or take a picture of each item and then like put it together and then laminate it and maybe paste it over here. I don't know, we got to figure out some way that we can convey what's in each box, because I think that if I printed out a list of what it was and put it on here, people would have to read, and I don't know that they would. I mean, I didn't read a packet on the lean labels that would have told me what to clean it with. So if I'm not doing that, are these guys going to be doing that for a tool that they may or may not know the name of too? And that may be, something we have to do in training, is train everybody on what the name of a tool is. I don't know. So the power pack definitely needs to get going. It would have been used quite a bit by Michael during that time. I was able to get to everything pretty well. There was one other thing. When I went down to the power tools one, I think it was, it opens great. So you can take it off, boom, open it up, and all the stuff that was on top stays in position and everything like that. And as long as you held onto it, you're okay. Now, if you let go of it, it would have held back there,
but it would have tipped over. So that's where that weight down at the bottom, if we put the weights down there, if we can get it heavy enough, then it'll stay in place, and you can get to that power tools one, open it up, let it stay up by itself, and get the power tool you need, and then close it back up with no problems. They won't fall over with that weight. Do a video on how the tools did. I switched over to this because we were running out of the impact driver batteries and all that kind of stuff. I switched over to that. This thing did a beautiful job with the screws. No problems whatsoever. It did a fantastic job of drilling also. I had to drill the 3/8 drill into the panels, the walk-in cooler panels, in order to get the bolts through and stuff. Did a great job. This guy has done a fantastic job. The biggest problem I've had is I think I've broken 3 of these now. And it's all come from it being in here in this case. I think one time was closing the lid on it, and then 2 times something was pushing against it, and it broke. This last time I was trying to get a tool out. I had to hold it up here because if I let it go back all the way, then it would tip over because the weights aren't in there. So I think I was trying to get the big saw out, the big circular saw, and that big circular saw is big, and so it was tough to get out one-handed, and so I ended up breaking that. So what I'm thinking is that maybe we need to do some Kaizen foam and something like that, and then maybe this needs to sit down in it or something, something along those to make that happen. This guy's been fantastic. It did all of the cutting that I asked it to do with all of the roof rafters for the production building. It made all the birds, it made everything, and it slices right through. The accuracy on this gauge right here on the 0 is dead on. It's fantastic. Been very happy with the upgrade on this. That's been worth everything. This is, like I said, has done a great job. This has done a great job. I saw the impact driver in here. And it did a fantastic job for everything that he was doing. And what I'm noticing now is look at how dirty and nasty that has gotten. We need to get to the point where we have a system set up that at the end of the day, this stuff gets cleaned up and gets wiped down and it's ready for work the next day. And so that they last longer that way.